Hey everyone, welcome back to Tech Charters. In today's video, we are diving into the brand new Fedora 42 KDE Edition, which has officially been promoted from a spin to a full Fedora Edition. This release ships with the powerful and elegant KDE Plasma 6.3, offering a next-generation desktop experience packed with performance, customization, and style. Fedora 42 also includes exciting updates like support for x86 emulation with FEX and a refreshed Anaconda installer UI that makes the setup process smoother than ever. In this video, I will guide you through installing Fedora 42 KDE and show you how a few simple tweaks can transform it into a gorgeous and efficient environment that's perfect for daily use. If you are a KDE fan or just curious about what this edition has to offer, stick around. This is going to be a fun ride. So let's get started with installing Fedora 42 KDE Edition. I have booted it up using the Fedora 42 KDE Live USB, and for this walkthrough, I'm using VMware to demonstrate the installation process. That's because it's a bit tricky to capture the screen during the initial boot on a physical machine. But don't worry, once the installation is complete, I will switch over to my physical setup to show you a real-world demonstration of the system in action. So let's install it first. So we need to click on the install to hard drive and it will start the installation process. First, we need to select the language. So I use English and English Canada. Now next, and here we need to select the installation destination. So let's click here and it's selected the VMware virtual NVMe disk. So let's done. And the root account. So let's enable the root account and give the password. Okay, that's fine. Now, if you want to use it through your network using SSH, you can enable it. Or if you don't want, you don't need to enable it. But let's enable it for now. Done. And now we need to create the user. So let's create the user and the name should be Tech Charters. And the username is also Tech Charters without any space. So I'm giving it the administrative privilege and also it requires the password. So let's put the password here. Now it's matched. So let's click done and begin installation. So it'll take some time to install the system. So I will first forward it and we'll be back when it's done. All right, our Fedora 42 KDE installation is complete. So let's finish the installation. And we need to reboot the system. So let's reboot it and I will be back when it's done. Okay, we're back. So let's log into our system. You are seeing the welcome center. You can check it. It will show you the features, the applications available, everything here. So let's now close it, finish it. So now let's move on the basic setup process, which is crucial to ensure the system is stable, secure, and ready for daily use. The first step is to update the system. You can do this either through the graphical user interface. So here you can see the system settings and the Discover. Let's open the Discover. And from Discover, you can update your system. So here it's actually updates are fetching. So you can install it from here. Or the second option is command line. But in this video, I will show you how to do it using the command line. Okay, so let's close it. And I will open the terminal. And on KDE, it is called console. So let's search for console. And you can see the console is on the favorites. So let's click here. And now let's make it a little bit bigger so that you can easily see this. Okay. Hopefully you can see this on the screen. So let's make it a little bit bigger. So to update the system, it is a simple command. The command is sudo, which will give you the administrative privilege. And we use DNF. Okay. It's default for Fedora and also Red Hat. And the update. So it'll give you the updates and we'll put -y, and this is actually it'll not ask you to confirm whether you want to update it or not, because we want the updated version. Okay, so let's run this command, and we need to put the password here again for the sudo user password. Now it'll actually download everything. It will fetch the repositories first, and then it will start installing the updates. So you can see the updates are downloading. So it's a big update, so it'll take a long time. I will first forward the process, and I will see you once it's done. Now that our system is fully updated, let's go ahead and reboot to apply all the changes. So I'll be back when the reboot is done. Okay, so our system is rebooted. Let's put the password. Okay, so it is now booting up with the latest updates. Now, by default, Fedora comes with its own official repositories, which includes most essential packages. However, you will notice that many popular third-party applications and codecs are missing. To fix that, we'll configure the RPM Fusion repositories, the most widely used and trusted third-party repositories for Fedora. They provide access to a huge collection of software, including multimedia codecs, proprietary drivers, and useful tools that are not available in Fedora's default repos. So let's get them set up next. Okay. So to do that, let's open the Firefox. It's a default browser for Fedora. So let's search for RPM Fusion. Let's run it, and let's go to the configuration. And here you will see it has the graphical setup via Firefox web browser. So here you can see the RPM Fusion for Fedora 42, free and non-free. So I'm using the command line. Okay, I will use it. So let's open the terminal again. So it's console in this case. So let's make it bigger so that you can easily see this. Okay, so it is pretty simple. Just copy and paste. Okay, so let's Fedora with DNF. Let's copy this and run this here in console and give the password. So it'll start configuring the repositories, and it's pretty simple and it's done. So now on Fedora, by default, to use the OpenH 264 library, so you need the repository to be explicitly enabled. Okay, so here is the Fedora 41 and later, so we'll use this one. And if you are using older version, you need to copy this one. Okay, so let's copy this one and put it here, and let's run it, and it's configured. Okay, so next thing, we already update our system. So let's run it again because we configured the repository again. Okay, so let's use the command sudo dnf update and -y. So it'll, if there is any update, it will update it, or it will update the repositories. So in this case, it only update the repositories. Okay, it's only loaded the repositories. So that's perfect. So our RPM Fusion is configured. Now we'll configure our other things. So if you just search with RPM Fusion, you will see how to multimedia and NVIDIA. I'm using NVIDIA graphics card. So let's open the NVIDIA, and here you will find the way how you can install the NVIDIA GPU. So here, the 510 plus driver. So I'm using RTX 4080. So it's actually I need the latest driver. So for the driver version 510 plus, we need to use this one. And if you have other options, you can go and download these legacy GeForce drivers and everything. So for me, I need to use this one. So again, I already run this, so I don't need to run this again. I will go with this, and let's run it here. So basically it's copy and paste and it'll do everything. Okay. So it will install everything. So I will fast forward it and come back when it's done. Okay. Everything is installed perfectly. So let's copy the next command. So it'll optional for CUDA. I want this. So let's copy it and just paste it here. So if you don't find this, don't worry. I will put this in a file and in the description so that you can easily do all the things. Okay. So our NVIDIA driver is set up. So let's go here and let's click on the how to link. And from here, I also want to install the multimedia part. So here, switch to full FFmpeg. Let's do this from here. Just paste it here and it'll start installing the codec. Okay, so everything looks good. It is actually importing the keys. So here it's done. And here, if just copy and paste it, it'll install the additional codec for your system. So let's run it. And yes. So it's installing all the necessary codecs. And now if you go here, you can find the hardware accelerated codec. So you need to find your one. So in my case, I'm using the NVIDIA one. So here is the NVIDIA one. So I will copy this and paste it. So if you use any other like Intel or AMD, you need to follow these steps. For NVIDIA, we need to follow this step. Okay. So let's paste it here and let's run it. So everything looks good and everything is done. So now we'll start our configuring our KDE Plasma so that we can make it way better looking and functional. Okay. So before doing this, after installing all the codecs and repositories, I want to reboot the system. So I will be back when it's done. Okay. So let's close it and I'm going to reboot the system. Our system is updated and NVIDIA driver is installed. So let's check the system configuration. Let's make it a little bit bigger and run fast fetch. And if you don't install fast fetch before, just install it with sudo dnf install fast fetch and it should install. So here you can see the system information, like here is my Fedora Linux 42 KDE Plasma desktop edition. And here is the kernel 6.14.9. And you can see here my CPU is AMD Ryzen 9 and GPU is NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 Super and the memory. So everything is showing perfectly. So our system is now updated and it's more stable. It should be more stable and secure. Okay. So first thing first, we want to change the view. Okay. So now let's work with the view. To do that, let's open the system settings. And here, if you go down, you can see the color and themes. Click here. And from the colors and themes, you can see this is the global theme. So let's download a new global theme. Please remember that sometimes it creates a little bit problem when you try to install it. So let's install Arches. Okay. So let's go there and install the Arches. So I want to install the dark one. So let's download it. Need to put the password. Okay. So it should install here. You can see Arches dark is here. So let's select it and appearance setting is yes. Okay. So it's now in dark mode, you can see. So it looks good, I think. So let's close it. The second thing, we want to configure this uh, panel. Okay, and there is one more thing. If you move your mouse very quickly left and right or up and down, it will show you the cursor bigger. That's nice, and it's a feature I saw in the Mac OS also. So let's change the panel configuration. Here we need to create a duplicate panel. So let's create the default panel. So the same panel appears here. Let's exit the mode, and now again go to the panel configuration, and here we need to remove this one and this one and this one. So I removed everything from here. Now what I want to do is change the width from full width to fit the content. So it's now showing this in the middle. Okay, now you can increase the size of it. So let's make it a little bit bigger. 56, I think it's good. Okay, this one is fine. And we need to change the opacity to transparent. I want it transparent, and it should be always visible, or you can auto hide, dodge window, anything. So let's put dodge windows, whatever you like. Okay, so exit the windows, and you can see it looks good. Okay, now we need to configure this one. Okay, so let's click here, show panels, and now what I want to do is remove these ones, and now I need to put a spacer. So let's put a spacer and make it here. So okay, a little bit here, and that's it. And let's make it transparent also, and it's floating, everything is fine. Exit. So this is the simple way. Okay, this is the simple way to make it a little bit different. So let's again go to the configuration and make it a little bit smaller, so it should looks good. So the next thing, you can see it's actually, I installed the Arches, but it's not working like what we want. So let's make it a little bit, we need to change it a little bit. And then the main thing, please remember, we need to restart our computer to see the full effect. Okay, so before doing that, just let's go to the console and let's install one more thing, and that is sudo dnf install Kavantum. Let's see. Sorry for the wrong password. Okay, so it's command, it will install the Kavantum manager. So let's install it. Okay, that's fine. Now let's search here for the, you can see the Kavantum manager is here. So we need this. Okay, so let's now go to the browser, and here let's search for Arches theme Kavantum. Okay, let's go there, and you can see the Arches Kavantum. So let's go there, and here we need to download this file, Arches. I will go with Arches tar. Okay, so let's download it. Okay, let's download it. It's downloaded, I think. Yeah, so let's go to the file browser and let's extract it here. Okay, so it's extracted. Now let's go to the Kavantum manager, and here we need to select that. So let's go to the download and Arches. Okay, and let's install it. Okay, so it's already installed. So let's go to the change or delete the theme, and from here let's search for Archie's. It should be here. So let's find Archie's here, and we can go actually Archie's dark because we are using the dark one. So let's use this theme and configure. Here you can see the transparent dolphin view and everything. You can change everything here if you want. Let's quit it and let's quit it. So the next thing, we need to reboot the system. So I will be back when it's rebooted. Okay, so I rebooted the system and now you can see it looks really gorgeous, right? So if you click here, you can see this and also this one, and you can see the rounded corners and everything looks really gorgeous. I really like this. Okay, so the second thing is, if you click here, you can see the menu. At the same time, if you click here, you can see the menu, the same thing, right? So let's change it a little bit. Right click here and show alternative. And here we can check anything. So let's go to the application dashboard. So now if you click here, you can see it's in a full screen and it looks really nice. Let's go there and click here and you can see it's actually like if you want to search anything, and you can also change it. Right click here and show alternatives and you can see the application menu. So it looks way better, right? So everything looks good. So here is the menu and everything it looks really nice, right? So now again go to the settings and let's go to the color and themes. The icons are changed, so we need to see this. So here we need to change little things here to make it more beautiful. So let's make it Kavantum dark, apply. Okay. Now the plasma style is Orchid's dark, Windows decoration. You can change the decorations. So here it's Orchid's dark, that's fine. Icons, you can change the icons. Also everything is here, splash window, Orchid's dark and login screen. Also you can change it. So I will go with the Orchid's and apply it. So it'll ask for the password. Okay, so everything looks good. As you can see, you can, if you want, you can change the everything here. So next, let's create another thing that's a widget. So for this, let's click on the add manager and it'll open the widget. So here I want to install the global menu. So let's put it here. That's it. Okay. Now let's exit it. If you open the Dolphin, you can see the menus are here. It's almost like the Mac, right? But it looks good. That's why I made it. And you can see the window is also transparent. So simple changes. Just I add a menu and just change the theme and it works really great. It looks way better than before. It was beautiful before, right? But now it looks way better in my eyes. If you want to change the themes, you can also try different themes, but I like this way and it looks good. And there's another thing. If you go to the Firefox, you will see that it is actually not showing the menu here. Okay, so what I do, I actually like the Brave browser better than Firefox. So if you want to stay with the Firefox, that's fine. But I actually like the Brave browser. So let's search for the Brave browser. Let's see if it's available here. Yes, it's available here. So it's available in the Flatpak. So let's download it, install it. Okay, so Brave browser is installed. So let's close it and search for the Brave browser. Here it is. So open it, and you can see, like, let's pin it to the taskbar. Fine. And now you can see, if you make it bigger, you can see it's actually showing the menu at the top. Okay, so Firefox still not support that, but a Brave browser support it, and I like the Brave browser, so let's make it default. Next. No, I don't want this, so let's finish it. So our Brave browser is now the default browser. Let's put it here. So everything looks way better than before, right? Now our next thing is to configure the console. So let's open console, and you can see it doesn't look good, right? So let's make it a little bit beautiful. Okay. Okay. So for this, to configure the console, first we want to install some nerd fonts. So nerd fonts are way better, and it can show you some graphics. So we need to install that. To do that, we need to install some of the requirements. Okay, so let's install wget and unzip. So here is the command sudo dnf install. So let's make it a little bit bigger so that you can see this. So this is sudo dnf install wget and unzip. Let's install it first. Okay, both are already installed, so we don't need to do anything. The second thing, we need to create a local directory inside the .local folder. So the command is mkdir -p and the location. So don't worry about it. I will put all the commands either in the description, or I will give you the link to download these from the GitHub repository. Okay, so let's create this. So our directory is created. Now we need to download the Fedora code fonts from GitHub repository. Let's go inside here. Let's check, and you can see the Fedora code is here. So we need to unzip it. Okay, so to do that, we need to put this command. We already tried to install the unzip application. So here is the unzip application. So let's unzip it. Now if you see, you can see the Fedora code is showing here. So it's already extracted. The next thing is to update the cache of the font. So let's make it fc cache, and it will actually cache the font. So it looks good. Now let's clear the screen. Okay, and let's go to the home directory. Sorry. Okay, so now we'll go and open the settings for the console. So let's go to the settings, and here you can see configure console. So let's open it, and if you go to the profile, you can see the built-in profile, and it's actually read only. So we need to create a new one. So let's create a new one and put the name Take Jotters. Okay, so we will make it default. That's fine. And here is the size, what do you want at the first. So everything looks good. So now let's go to the appearance, and here I always like the capuchin. So I will go and search for the capuchin. Okay, you can see capuchin mocha. So let's install it. So it's the color theme, okay, for the console. So now if you see in the appearance, you will see the capuchin mocha. So let's apply it. The second thing we need is to change the fonts. So let's go there, and here you should find the, okay, the font is cached. So what we need to do is let's press OK, and let's close it now. Let's close the console now, and let's open it again. Okay, because it was opened when we actually cached the font. So let's go to the settings and configure console, go to profile and say take jotters and edit it now. And here if you go to the appearance and choose the fonts, and Fira code is here. So we will see Fira code nerd font mono here, and we will make it a little bit bigger. You can make it as you wish. Okay, I always like 14, but for this video I put it 18 so that you can actually see this. Okay, so the font is changed and it looks good, right? Now what we need to do is click on the edit, because I want to make it a little bit more beautiful, right? So let's go to the edit, and here you can see the background transparency. So let's make it a little bit like 8 or 9%. So let's blur background, and it should, you can see it's actually now a little bit transparent. So if you want, you can make it a little bit more, and it should work perfectly. And if you like make it like this, it's way transparent. It actually creates some problem when you try to write codes or write the commands. If you have something open in behind, it will actually show those fonts. So I like to make it around 10 to 15% transparency and apply. Okay, okay, and okay. And you can see your console looks way better than before. And okay, that's fine. Now, the second thing, I always like to use ZSH. Okay, so for that, I want to install ZSH. So let's go there and install ZSH. Okay, so sudo dnf install. By default, it comes with bash, but I like ZSH. If you don't want, you can skip it, but I like it, so I'm going to install it. Why I like ZSH? Because ZSH is actually it supports the plugins. I want to use those plugins. That's why I like the ZSH. Okay, so let's write the second command here, and it'll make this ZSH default on your system. Okay, so let's put it here, your password. Okay, so password failure. I put wrong password. So let's try it again. Oh, okay, let's do it again. I make the mistakes, and now the shell changed. Okay, so let's close it. Let's open the console again, and it's actually showing the bash, right? So the thing we can do is here, actually you can restart your computer and it should work perfectly. Otherwise, you can go to the settings and configure console. And here, if you go to the profile, just edit it, and here just put it JSH and apply. Okay, okay, and click exit. And now if you open console again, it should open with the ZSH, that shell. Okay, that's perfect. So I will select this option 0. It will create a ZSH RC file. So let's select 0, and it's fine. So it's installed. Now, what we want to do is to install some of the plugins. Okay, so to do that, we need to install few of the uh, prerequisites some software may require. So let's install sudo dnf install Let's install curl and util Linux user -y. Let's check if those are available. Okay, those are already installed, so we don't need to bother with this. So now we'll create a plugins uh, and completions directory. So let's create the directory. Inside the z.zsh, and here we'll create a 2.0 directory. So we'll use plugins. So I put the curly bracket so that I can create multiple. Okay, and the second one is completions. Okay, so let's close the curly bracket and let's run it, and it's created the directory. So now we'll install few of the plugins inside this plugin directory. Okay, so first of all, we'll install ZSH auto suggestion. So let's run this. It will clone the repository. Okay, it is not find clone git, so we need to install git first. So here, let's install git first. Okay, that's perfect. Now let's run this auto completion, auto suggestion one. So it's done. Next, we want to install the syntax highlighting. Okay, so let's clone this repository. And finally, we want to install the ZSH completions. We also create the completions directory, so it should work perfectly, and everything is done. So what we need to do is go to the ZSHRC file and open it with nano. It comes with it. Okay, so you don't need to install nano, it's already there. So here we need to enable the plugins. So let's go down, and here is the commands. We can run this. So let's Control O to write this and Control X to close it. And now you can actually do two things: close the console and run it again, or you can use source and then .zshrc, and the auto completions and everything should works. If you had any problem, it will show those errors, but it is not showing any errors. That means it actually compiles perfectly. So let's close it now and let's open the console. So now let's say NVIDIA. You can see there is no commands available for NVIDIA. Okay, so it's actually showing in kind of red color. But if you press dash, also it's not available. SM, it's not available. But when I put I, it's green. That means this command will work. So that's the beauty of ZSH. So I do that. Now the second thing, it's not looking good, right? To make it looks beautiful, we want to install another thing. So for that, I want to use Starship RS. So let's go Starship RS, and if you go to the Starship cross-shell platform, you can click on the Get Started, and you can see there is the installation option. So here we have Bash and ZSH both. So let's click on the ZSH for now. Okay, so first we need to install it. Sorry. So to install the Starship, we need to go to the Linux, and you can see we have this command. It will install the Starship. So let's clear the screen, and again I will put all the commands in the description or in the GitHub file so that you can just copy and paste everything. So let's install it, and it's installed. Okay, so now the second thing is So let's do it again. Yes, installed. So somehow my keyboard is not working perfectly. I'm sorry for that. Now it is actually installing that. Now you can see here, there is the commands we need to put based on our system. So we are using ZSH. So we need to copy this one and we need to paste it to the ZSH RC file. Okay. So let's open it with nano. Okay, so let's open it and let's put it in the beginning. Now it's fine, it's working. So we can make it way better. Just we need to use some themes. So let's go here again. And if you click on the presets, you can choose whatever preset you want. But for me, I just like the Catpuccin power line. Okay, so let's go there. And here is the command. Just copy this and paste it to the console and it should install everything. And you can see it looks way gorgeous, way better than before. So hopefully you will like this. And if you want to change something, like for me, I don't want to see these things, how much it takes, like ls and sudo dnf update, just running a command to show you something. So, and you can see it's actually showing you in 6 seconds, 814 milliseconds, those things. I don't want to see this. Okay. To do that, let's open this file with nano and change it a little bit. Okay. So here you can see the time, character, common durations. I just want to delete this. You don't need to do this. Okay. It's my personal preference. I like to remove these breaks and that's it. Let's Control O, Control X. So now if I run this command again, it will not show you the time it takes, but it looks way gorgeous. I like the color palette. You can also change it. Okay, so that's perfect. So our console is now perfectly working. So let's close it. And finally, I will do a little bit modification on the Windows. So let's go to the system settings, sorry. And here, if you click, you can see the default applications. You can go there, change your default applications. I want Brave the default applications, and whatever you want, you can change it from here. Okay. So let's go there and Windows management and window action. Everything is here. You can click on the desktop effect here. I want to activate this Oobly windows and magic lamp. Okay, so what it will do, actually you can see it's now showing a little bit Oobly windows, and if you click on the minimize button, it'll go down like a genie. So that's the thing I wanted to incorporate. So it's good effect. Okay, so I like this a lot. So that's all. So you can see it change completely. It changed everything from like a simple KDE desktop to a gorgeous one with minimal effort. And also we configured console for our different purposes and it looks also really great. And all the effects, you can see the dolphin, it's actually translucent, and when you click here it's transparent, and everything looks perfect in my opinion, and hopefully you will also like this. Okay, so there is one other thing we can do. So these are floating, so let's click it and show panel. Sometimes I like it to stick on the top, so it looks sometimes way better. This one, it's floating, it's fine, but this one I like to put it in the top. So now you can see the global menu is working perfectly. You can also install a lot of widget. You can search it. I just wanted to install the minimum things so that we can prepare our Linux easily and efficiently. So hopefully you like this video. And if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It'll help me to create more videos like this, and also it will be very helpful for my channel. So thank you so much for watching this video. See you next time. Have a good day.